they built it in the owner's garage. That garage must be bigger than most people's houses. The doors you see don't actually open, and if they did, they'd probably be pretty heavy.
Do you guys see the size of the door handle?
So to get inside, you have to go through a secret door under the car. Okay, this is pretty crazy.
Wow.
Once upon a time in PHC, a married couple gave birth to the cutest kid. Destined to preach the hand of God was upon him. But the road ahead of him wasn't easy until he found Christ, whose yoke is easy. Now everything is easy peasy weezy for cheesy. Really easy picking cheese mixed with joyful living. When you give your life to Christ, life is sweet and creamy. Yum yum, tastes like heaven on a bed of roses. Come, I see some say that's not the way it is. But you don't know the power Jesus gives. You carry your cross after the cross with power he gives thee. Power that exceeds the wildest dreams and fantasies of Samson. Yep, the power of the Spirit. Problem is you don't know the power given to thee or how to use it, so I'm here to teach thee.
This is the biggest car in the world and it actually drives.
You guys might have...
This is impractical. So basically, the car tire, she's not even taller than one of its tires, including the guy, you know. Of course, women are not, normally not as tall as guys, but, you know, the guy is also... Look at his height. He's not as tall, you know, as the tire alone. So it's impractical. Yes, the car can move, but where is it going to move to? But then again, it has uses for military uses and I guess apocalyptic situation kind of uses, you know. So I guess, you know, when people come up with the idea of, you know, the world's biggest car has an apartment inside, you know, it might as well have a mansion. Perhaps you should just put wheels on a mansion and, you know, call it a giant, the world's biggest truck, you know, and say it has a mansion inside. You know, it is only specific to if there's an apocalyptic situation or you're preparing for that kind of an event, you know. So you can just that will be an interesting bet. Where would you go? It is best, you know, because how many roads are built for something that big? You know, and what does that mean to other cars? Because if a car this big is coming down the road, what about other cars? And there are many places you can't travel. Even if there's an apocalyptic situation, there's going to be a lot of damaged roads because of bombs. There are going to be a lot of roadblocks. So how is it going to navigate? You know, so but you know, I get only in that event of an apocalyptic situation I can say, okay, I can see. But who knows, maybe the future holds something interesting that may make this make sense. Because, for example, when it comes to computers, you know, the early computers, you know, they had such a small processing power. When somebody was talking about increasing it, they were like, what if somebody need, you know, a computer with a faster processing power for? But now cell phones have 1,000,000 times faster processing power than what was proposed that the computer should, you know, have its processing power increased to. You know, it is what it is. Let's keep watching. So perhaps the future holds something that this will have a more wide scale use.
It actually drives.
You guys might have seen this video going around, and yes, this car is real, and we got our hands on it. It's the biggest drivable car in the world, and the inside is pretty much a duplex. Each wheel costs $25,000. And if you guys are wondering, like, where you get a tire like this, it's actually from a military vehicle, more specifically the Lark LX. And wait, there's more.
I'm not surprised. From a military vehicle, it will have that kind of vibe to it.
I'm also going to show you a bunch of other wacky cars like this, and this Ram 2500 with oil rig tires, which, by the way, was terrifying to get out of.
Oh!
Did you do that? Did you do that?
No, I didn't. You did.
If you're wondering how we found all these cars in one spot, that's because they all belong to one owner, Sheikh, aka the Rainbow.
I'm not surprised. You know, these Arab guys have a lot of money, and they're using it much better than their counterparts in the West use their wealth, you know.
Sheikh. He owns around 3,000 cars, a lot of them being customized one-of-ones, and he got his nickname from once buying a fleet of Mercedes S-Classes in every color of the rainbow. The Rainbow Sheikh also has a few museums. We went to the one in Abu Dhabi, which has hundreds of cars. These were some of my favorite.
keep in mind that these are counted as assets, as they are special cars, they are custom cars. Their value is counted as assets. So it is not like it is counted as a liability. So a lot of people will look at most of the things that wealthy people quote unquote spend their money on. It is not actually spending. Like when most wealthy people buy paintings, that is an investment. That is also a way to transfer money and dodge taxes, and also to store money, when they're buying paintings. And the same thing goes for a lot of collector's items. It's also a way to transfer money, to store money, also to avoid taxes from the banking system and things of that nature. So it is not like, oh, they are just spending money. They are actually making more money and, guarding the money they already have by quote unquote spending it on these kinds of things. It's not really spending. But people will look at it as spending. Now, if you were to go into a stand to pick up a bag, that is selling for for 2,000 or whatever, even though that is far less than all these items, the fact that that is not something that is a collector's item that increases with time is a problem. Most of these cars, because of how rare they are, you've heard the phrase about a car losing its value when it's driven off the lot. Well, not a collector's item car. When a car is a collector's item, its value actually increases, with time. So it's actually different. And most of those collector's items, their value increasing is more sure. It is more fixed. It is more certain than even government bonds, and certainly more certain than stocks and the stock markets, with the way stocks rise and fall. And then they will also use these things sometimes as collateral to get loans from banks to invest in other businesses. So you can see what is happening. It is just making money upon making money upon making money. But it looks to some people like, oh, they are spending their money. But that is not what they are doing. And the same thing with private jets. So most custom private jets, are collector's items. Not all. And these are things that a lot of people do not understand. The more you learn about money from the rich and in the world of the rich, the more you see clearly, what is really happening and how the world really functions. These are things you will not get from school.
The car is meant to be driven forward with this trailer going in reverse. What is this?
That's a Dracula car.
It's got ski sleds in the front, like
cool.
snow tracks on the back. It's got wheels. It's like a surfer's Hummer. It's actually
two surfs at the end. Look at that.
Ford Super Duty 2016. Enormous antenna for off-roading.
I see what this guy is doing. The owner of this fleet of cars is basically advertising on Supercar Blondie's channel. That is what he's doing. And what he's doing is creating more awareness and also increasing the value of these cars and vehicles. But people may not see it like that, but that is actually what is happening. So there's the intellect behind it. But somebody looks at it as, he's just showing off his wealth. But no, he's increasing his wealth. He knows what he's doing.
Actually, can you imagine? This one is a 1986 GMC.
155 horsepower.
And this is somebody that owns museums, that owns this. So these cars could also end up in a car show or a car museum that he will own. So this is good advertising. And, putting him in a place like, oh, I have the best car fleet. I have the best collection of exotic, rare cars and all of that. So there's also that vibe to it he's trying to generate around his brand.
But it looks like it's much heavier.
Wow.
I love the
tires. It almost
tires.
Doesn't look real. So I guess you can put it down.
They get
and have it as a trailer or something?
Yeah, they get two separate truck beds and they weld one upside down on top of the other and they stack it like that. It's all like unnecessary, but it looks pretty cool. This is like the widest car I've ever seen in my life. Look at the space between the driver and the passenger.
That's when you don't really want it.
The guy saw that thing and said it's unnecessary, but not really. If that car were to somersault or get into an accident, that changes you saying whether it is unnecessary or not. With it having tires at the top. So there is that factor that you have to also consider. And there's also the topic of, can those tires be used as spare tires in case any of the bottom ones, come up? Can it be unplugged, and then replaced with any of the spare tires down? I think so. So that is also an interesting use of storing spare tires. So keep that in mind.
Stack it like that. It's all like unnecessary, but it looks pretty cool. This is like the widest car I've ever seen in my life. Look at the space between the driver and the passenger.
That's when you don't really want to speak to your driver when you're a passenger.
It's like an anti-social car.
Anti-social car.
I saw this Ram 2500 nearby and had to jump in. To get in and out, you need a ladder, and I'll tell you right now, it was pretty...
This is funny. You need a custom ladder to get in. That is impractical. They should put something like a remote that brings down an improvised ladder or pulls down something for people to climb up that is part of the car, because this is just funny.
Pretty sketchy.
But dummy, you're not even holding it. Look.
What do you mean?
You're holding the wrong side. Yeah.
I never thought I'm gonna see this angle of you.
Wait.
No, you go from the other side.
Oh my God, I'm stuck. Okay. We're getting there.
I'm gonna help you.
Okay. All right, yeah, now we're good. Not a stressful experience at all.
What did you see up there?
I forgot to close the door.
This thing has oil rig tires, which are over 2.6 meters tall. And for reference, Shaquille O'Neal is just under 2.2 meters tall.
Yeah, it's like a whole city in here. Look. Oh, wow. Yeah, you gotta see this. Look at the clearance between here and the bed up there. I like the vents on the side, just to look cool.
They're super sharp. Look at that. It actually is road legal.
Yeah.
Can you believe this thing was driving on the street? It's crazy.
Another car that blew my mind was this transforming 6x6 Nissan Patrol. This is nuts.
It's like a Nissan Patrol body with a Nissan Patrol extra front. So they got like 2 Nissan Patrol fronts, which is weird, but it's cool. This car, by the way, apparently the Nissan Patrol, I didn't know, but it's not sold in the US or Europe. So the Nissan Patrol is super common in the UAE, Dubai. It turns out that no one else gets it. Not only do you get one, you get 2 when you get this car.
And you get 4 horns.
Yeah, 4 horns, by the way.
Let me try.
This is way too loud.
Let me try.
Unnecessarily loud. I think it's like a rescue car. If you get stuck in this... Oh my God.
They actually drove this car from Morocco to France, so it's not just for show. The wheels are supposed to provide a solution for off-roading if you run into any crazy obstacles, and while I don't think I'd ever be in a situation to need that function, I still think it's pretty cool. Yes, this car is real. It's called the Hummer H1 X3, and that's because it's 3 times bigger than the original H1, 3 times longer, 3 times taller, and 3 times wider. It took 7 people 1.5 years to build, and they built it in the owner's garage. That garage must be bigger than most people's houses. The doors you see don't actually open, and if they did, they'd probably be pretty heavy.
Do you guys see the size of the door handle?
So to get inside, you have to go through a secret door under the car.
Okay, this is pretty crazy.
Wow.
When you go up the stairs,
This is very interesting. This is interesting.
first thing you'll see is, that's right, you guessed it, a kitchen.
And how can it be a secret door under the car? But when you think about that previous car that he used the ladder to climb in, having that kind of door under the car situation, it's interesting. Other cars have a door by the side. This one you have to reach up and pull it down. You enter the car from the bottom. That is an interesting thing. That is a good idea. He should put that in that other car.
There it is.
This toilet looks so small, A big person can't enter this toilet at all. And the interesting thing about vehicles and RVs that have toilets, it's normally only for paying, Even though they could accommodate number 2, it's like, why would you want to do number 2 in something like this?
The master chair. Where you take care of business.
I can actually get in here so we can do business together.
Yeah, you can probably fit in like multiple people. So
Hello.
got
There's
the
your
sink,
little bidet.
the bidet.
So she really isn't tall.
Bidet inside of a car? Are you kidding me? Americans don't even have that in their house.
Ta-da.
What you're looking at is a large
I wonder what house you went to.
LX engine. It's one engine per wheel. Per wheel!
When you go upstairs to the second floor, you basically have an apartment. This upper lounge is 60 square meters of chilling space.
Kids have tree houses and rich people have gigantic hammers.
Yeah, I don't know. This is pretty crazy, and it's cozy
This
too.
is not for tall people at all.
It's nice. It's just like a little hangout area to cover the windows. They have full-on like apartment window blinds, which is pretty funny.
Blackout blinds. Sergi, have you ever seen giant window vipers like these?
Yeah, these are like enormous. These are heavy duty.
The driver's seat is actually at the back of the truck.
Cut out engine number 1, start engine 1. Cut out engine number 2, start engine 2. So you have all 4 engines. You can
It
start.
looks like a train situation altogether. This is by no means looking like in America, like a train or like a ship situation. The controls.
Stop. Like,
And the idea of putting, the driver's seat at the back, because, screens, it's something that should be adopted in other cars as well and other vehicles. Even trains, people should think of doing that, I like that, the difference in thinking and the creativity.
each one individually is pretty crazy.
This Hummer H1 X3 does drive, but obviously it won't be easy. The top speed is 32 kilometers an hour, and you can imagine the turning radius on this thing. You guys must be wondering, how does anyone afford this, right? Well, the Rainbow Sheikh has a reported net worth of $20 billion. He's able to follow his passion as far as his imagination can reach. So what do you guys think? Which car was your favorite? Let me know, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.
So that's cool. Make sure you check out Alfred.vip for more, and if you'd like to join the Alfred's Investors Club, check out investor.alfred.vip. Say this prayer audibly if you've not given your heart to Jesus Christ. Dear God, I believe in my heart that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came, died, and was raised from the dead to save me. I confess Him, Lord, over my life, and ask You to give me Your Holy Spirit to live within me. I receive Your Spirit by faith, and thank You for I am now born again. In Jesus' name, amen. If you just prayed that prayer, congratulations, you're now a Christian. Go to alfred.vip and get resources that will help you with your work with God.